All right, we're heading out of Dublin today, headed to Kinsale, and this is our bus. There's Kevin, but you gotta move for me, Kevin. And there's Patrick.
Well, that's me.
That's you, Patrick.
That's
Did
me.
you know that? There's Donnie. All right, and here's our bus. Look at everyone in the bus.
Hey, party bus!
I'm not surprising Paul's not here.
Hey, we got everybody's luggage.
Is Paul, is he here? Do you know what?
Where's Paul?
Where's Michelle's purse?
I took it.
I hid it. You know what?
Hey, is everybody's luggage here?
I don't know, I better look in the back.
Here's the Great Wall of Great Wall of Dublin. Yes, and this was built in 1200.
Closing the gates. Closing the gates.
No, do not close me in. Huh? There's Lori and Sherry.
Coming out of my fair city.
Huh?
Climb up the wall.
Woo.
Mom and Dad are like, hey, guys, come go.
Wow. All right,
Okay, you got it all, T?
I got it all. Back on the bus.
The last one that I bought was this kind of one. I tried to take the positive out of it. It's not easy. There's too much iron. Is that iron? So there's one particular man he's advising me not to do this.
That's nice.
I love all those green colors. I can remember the first time we came here, and when we flew over, I was amazed at the color of the ground. It was gorgeous green. And my grandmother always used to say that, oh, sure, there's no green like that now. I thought of her the very minute I saw it. It was in the fall, September, we were here for 3 weeks and we were on, I forget how many thousands of miles on our way. We went everywhere, except the very center. We went to Casher.
Did you go to,
During this past year.
No, I floated that idea with your dad. No, I'm trying to see.
The fellas that I've been going to are lovely men. Seems to be something wrong with all that as far as I'm concerned anyway. So just like that, we have one extra phone in the house and
Ooh la la.
so the two boys go out. We give them the mobile if they need to be contacted. When they come back, they take it off their.
You a tired ooh la la lady.
ooh la la lady.
Too bad you were sleeping, Tammy. Yeah, I really miss it. Good. Wow. You have a tow road?
Oh yeah. So they can hang up there. You used to those at home?
Jeff.
Yeah, a little late on that one.
It's all right.
Really behind that is King Cormac's chapel. You'll see some of the artisan work around the ceiling area and everything like that. But you really have kind of got to use your imagination about how important this site was, okay? And the different periods of construction, okay? If you look over towards the right, you see the narrow slit square keep, a square building, okay?
My, look at all the tourists. Hello, tourists.
Hello.
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 Tammy, don't go out in the street. Or then next time we're here, it'll be Elise.
Here, get in there, Sean. Put your camera down.
Paul, you want to talk about that or not? No. And anyway,
Exaggerate anything in line.
anyway,
swear allegiance to the King of England as being head of the church because the Pope.
there's Pollywog. Hi, Polly. Whoa, whoa! Look at this.
Now that's a castle.
That's a huge castle.
Okay, now we go down to the right.
Did you see the other castle down there? There's another one right down there.
Oh, is there?
And it's not being fixed.
Is it?
Similar, so we get a lot.
The top of that one?
Three end walls. Hold on. Maybe turn around.
Woo! Wind blown. Fly, Paul, fly.
Like it's still pretty substantial. But so it's a pity, I suppose, in some ways to see a lot of these businesses changing hands, but that's the way of the modern marketeers and modern production. And so that's our friends here in Minton Distilleries. So we don't actually have a distillery in Cork anymore. when they all came down to this green hillside. And you might have noticed as we were driving along there, when you were looking through the countryside, you would see the barley fields that were cut. And right around here, the malting process is really carried on in Cork City, near this big malting factory there. They don't actually malt the product here, they bring the malt to the factory. Of that starch, the proteins, or the sugars. And then how you actually stop it of chilling itself off, release, put it to a kennel, dry it off, and depending on the amount of time you leave it in the kennel and the steeps and all that will determine the type of malt you will eventually end up. Be it whether for a lager, which is your pale beer, or a Smithwick's like your red beer, like a Sam Adams at home in America, or Smithwick's here, or Bass, or then like a Guinness product which you will roast it, right? You'll cook it basically, put it over a peat fire, and that's what you'll end up basically when you go through the whole mashing process, you'll turn up with a Guinness, right? And that gives you that kind of peaty taste. And so Bush Mills as well, as a matter. When they make Bush Mills, they have a pale bush and a dark bush, or a blackened colour. So you already know anyway, Don, don't you, that you know, there are a couple of businesses that you won't know, like a tooth park.
Okay, so this area here was the courtyard, and it was one of the main centres of activity here at the distillery. So each harvest around August time, all the local farmers would bring all their grains of barley here to the courtyard. Here the grains would have been weighed, and the farmers then got a ticket which they would exchange at the office. So as you can imagine, if all the grains were brought at just one time during the year, the distillery would need plenty of buildings to store all of it. So as you can see around us, there is just that, plenty of buildings, and over half of the buildings which you will see along the route were used just for storage as well. And if you take a look at the wall behind us here now, you'll notice plenty of markings or dividers of where the stables will be built. So you can get a better view of the building when you stand further back towards the walls here. You can see the height of the building. So this here is the grain store. As you can see, it's a fairly tall building. It was actually the tallest building on site. So there's 5 stories, and each story could hold up to 250 tons of grain at each time. So before this lever system here was introduced, the workers themselves had to carry bags of grain up and down each story on their backs.
Tammy, Paul, there's Michelle, there's Joanne back there, there's Dawn, there's Lisa and Jeff.
As you can imagine, 250 tons of grain on each story would generate quite a bit of heat. So the windows would have been kept open, allowing a cool air to run through the building and then preventing any of the grains from igniting inside there. So the black discs as well, which you see, were iron tie bars which ran through the building, basically just giving extra support to each story and to keeping the building in one piece. So the water wheel here was built in 1852 by an Englishman called Fernburn. And you can see on the side here you'll notice plenty of grain details which showed Fernburn really knew who his customer was when he was building the water wheel here. So it's 22 feet in diameter and it's made of cast iron, and the water is sourced from the Horny River.
What do you think of that, Michelle?
It's pretty impressive that that could generate power up until 1975 for the whole ground. Said it operated the elevators, the mill springs, and all the pumps.
Yeah.
here now. This is what the liquid looks like just after the triple distillation. So as you can see, it's a colourless liquid with just 60% alcohol inside it now. So nothing really too spectacular about the first cask. The second cask, however...
It's our tasters group. Look at this.
So I'll ask you first of all now to all write your names as clearly as possible on these pieces of paper here. So first name and surname, capital letters please. And to organise a half a glass of water as well for yourselves. So we will be tasting water using water. So water and your names then as clearly as possible in capital letters.
Capital letter. Yeah.
Good stuff. So make sure we know you're not cheating, Paul. Why did Paul write down Kevin's name? Paul.
She probably went to the bathroom.
She walked out with some guy, Paul. Holy smokes.
Okay, so I'm here at the Middleton John Jameson Distillery for whiskey. And we're in the tasting room. Lovely building, right? I'm enjoying myself, having a great time. And then Tomas, you got to look.
What do you got? What'd you find? What'd you find?
Something very suspect. Look at
oh
this.
My.
John Power and Son. I knew he was someone famous. He says he's, you know, he gave me his family background. It's not true. John Power and Son, John Jameson. John Power, John Jameson. That,
John Power owns this place.
Yeah. That,
Holy.
or JP is spying on us, and this is like a two-way mirror, and he's behind it, watching to make sure we don't get too
Cheers.
snookered in Ireland.
Cheers.
Cheers, JP.
Oh, sorry, the South Atlantic, excuse me. And way out here, the old head of Kinsale being out further, out to the point. And this is a star-shaped fort in front of us, called Charles Fort. Called after the monarch in England, of course, King Charles. You know? And there is another fort actually on the opposite, and the monarchy in England too, ultimately, which resulted really in a Protestant king being installed. And that finished the whole idea of any idea of any Catholic input in the political situation in the Great Britain. So now, if you follow in the sailing port of Kinsale, that's...
What do we got up here? Ah, there's right there. Little wave. Yeah, no, she's my little wave. She's just a little wave. Hold on, Michelle. Just getting a panoramic here. Are we still safe, Patrick?
Yeah. Well, it's either that guy's in it or else abandoned ship and head for the pub, you know. Let them sort it out themselves.
Who gets the right away?
The big one.
Actually, the area just to the left of ourselves, heading on down in towards town, is called Scilly, S-C-I-L-L-Y. It was originally in the late 1500s, and that it was a fishing village. But then, of course, with these lovely, beautiful views, all these areas were taken up by the predominantly the rich merchant. Much easier driving than walking, isn't it? Well, I'll just be here on you guys, but you know, so that you can have a look at the place, and it will give you an idea of the layout of it, really, you know. To kind of set you up if you want to walk around tomorrow morning or whenever.
Jeffrey, there's the crack. Woo, here comes a car. Yes. Hello, hello, hello.
Proved the point that I needed proof. Lost a friend, losing.